Good morning, beloveds. It's Sunday. I've been up, been to the gym, trying to get the cat to come in here. The lure of cream cheese is, yeah. Today he loves cream cheese more than he loves me. And it's okay. All right. We all have to have our priorities, right? So we are finishing up the month of April. This is our first month. We're finishing our first month in courage, conviction, and consciousness. I know it's backwards. I'm sorry. There's probably a way to fix that. Not that I show it very often, but it is April 30th. Today is my brother's birthday. I should really say happy birthday to him. And we have a poem by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. This was published in the Washington Newsletter in July of 1902. So, she's a fantastic poet. I bought one of her books. So, God and love. The tide of love swells in me with such force. It sweeps away all hate and all distrust, as eddying straws and particles of dust are lost by some swift river in its course. Love is a plant which we can cultivate, to grace and fragrance sweeter than the rose, or leave neglected while our heart soil grows, rank with that vile and poison nettle hate. Love is a joyous thrush that we can teach to sing sweet lute-like songs which all may hear, or we can silence him and tune the ear to the caw of crows or to the vulture's screech. Love is a feast, and if the guests divide with all who pass, though thousands swell the van, there shall be food and drink for every man. The loaves and fishes will be multiplied. Love is the law, but yield to its control, and thou shalt find all things work for the best, and in the calm, still heaven of thy breast, that God itself sits talking with thy soul. 1902. Well, I like how she contrasted it. Love swells in me with such force, it sweeps away all hate and distrust. And there's a quote from, his name just popped, Martin Luther King, that that only love can displace hate. And that is what we are called to do. We are called to channel the divine love into the material realm. We are called to be that love, to be the force for that love. And it looks like all kinds of things. And she gives us some, suggestions in here. And then I like how she said the loaves and she mentioned the loaves and fishes. Because Jesus came to teach love. And two of the things that he did that are really amazing is he fed people and he healed people, and he never asked if they were worthy. He just did it. And that's what love calls us to do. Love calls us to do things without asking if the other person, the person that we are doing them for, is worthy. It also asks us to do things and to not ask if we're worthy. It's like, are we worthy to do these things? Well, yes, because we're beloved children of God. And then it asks us to do these things for our fellow, human, again, without asking whether they're worthy. And I believe Richard Rohr's the other one that says that. It's like, or it could be Thomas Merton too. We're called to love one another and not ask if we're worthy. Because in the eyes of God, we are all worthy because we are made by God, of God, for God. We're all worthy. And if we don't feel like we're worthy, then that's our work to do. It's nobody else's place to judge whether or not we're worthy. Everyone is worthy of divine love. Everyone is worthy of love. Everyone is worthy of having their basic needs met, of being of food and healthcare. Those are and shelter. Those are the basic needs. Everyone is worthy of that just because they are a child of God. They don't have to prove their worth because they're a child of God. And that's what Jesus came and said. Look, you know what? It's all love. And when we make choices in love, we can never go wrong. Now, that's one of those things where you want to look at the Eastern versus the Western idea of love. And in the Western idea, love can be very objective. And we talk about the object of our love as if the object of our love does not have their own thoughts and feelings and hopes and dreams. And that's one of the things we have to be very careful of, which is one of the things the Eastern model takes into account, is love is always subjective. And so, because sometimes we do things out of love because it benefits us, and it may absolutely crush the object of our love. So that's one of the things to be very careful of. But Ella, that is a beautiful poem, a beautiful meditation on love. I mean, I like crows, so I kind of felt bad about that, but love swells with such a force that it sweeps away all hate and distrust like a river running in its course. Love is a plant that we can cultivate. Okay. Love definitely bears cultivating with grace and a fragrance sweeter than a rose. Or if we leave it neglected, the soil of our heart grows rank with vile poison of the nettle of hate. Hate's very thorny. Love is a joyous thrush, which is a bird, if you can't tell, that we can teach to sing sweet songs that all may hear, or we can silence them and then listen to the voices of hate. Love is a feast. And this is where I was like, oh, I like this. Love is a feast, and if the guests divide with all who pass, though thousands swell the van, there shall be food and drink for every person. The loaves and fishes will be multiplied. When we do things in love, it's multiplied. It's beautiful. Love multiplies, hate divides. Love is the law, but yield to its control, and thou shalt find all things work for the best. She said it. If you make decisions with love, you can't go wrong. And in the calm, still heaven of thy breast, that God itself sits talking with us, thy soul. Ella Wilcox. That was 1902. She's pretty amazing. So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it? It's about love. It's about love. It's to nourish, to cultivate, to teach love, to yield to love, always to yield to love. And then because God itself is in our soul, because our soul is God, the little soul that we have is that little piece of God that we have individuated for this period of time. It's one of my favorite things in the movie Bedazzled, which stars Brendan Fraser, and her name just popped right out of my head. There's a conversation between Brendan Fraser when he's in jail at one point with who you find out later is God. And he says, you can't sell your soul. It was never yours to begin with. It belongs to something bigger. And we individualize it and come into the material plane to cultivate love, to learn love. I mean, what else can we do? So, all right. So that is the mission today, to cultivate love, to teach love, to be love. I mean, it's the mission every day, right? Always give you the same mission. Just use slightly different words and come at it from a slightly different angle. So there we are. All right, beloveds. Now, in the vein of love, I would also encourage you to every day, the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. It is a spiritual practice, and I encourage you to do this spiritual practice for a variety of reasons. One, you deserve your own love, you deserve your own kindness, you deserve your own compassion. Absolutely, you're a beloved child of God. Two, you are your own best test subject. You get immediate feedback when you practice on yourself. And three, I'm encouraging you to create a habit so that whatever happens, your first response will always be loving. For yourself and for others. When you practice every day, then you're creating a bank account. Within the last couple of days, we read about that bank account. We read about the bank manager. And when we go to the bank every day and make a deposit, two things happen. One, we've got a bank to draw on when things get weird and sideways and chaotic, because it's the material realm. It happens. And two, we're also drawing on a line of credit, the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. It'll never run out. You just need to create a well-worn path to the source of your own being, to the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. And so practice every day. And it's as simple as taking a deep breath before you speak. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like cleaning out a messy corner in your house. It looks like calling a good friend. It looks like eating dessert first. It is absolutely self-care. I'm not hiding that. I'm, in fact, shouting that from the rooftops. Love, kindness, and compassion. Practicing on yourself is self-care. And it's necessary. If you're going to live a life of service, you got to take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. And then I say that phrase, eat dessert first. And sometimes I mean it. Sometimes I mean it, literally eat dessert first. But what I've also come to realize, is that means don't save the good stuff. Your life is a special occasion. And one of the qualities of God is joy. You deserve joy. Make room in your life for joy, no matter what is going on. Make room in your life for joy. I have these guys. They, make me crazy, but they are also a fantastic source of joy because they're funny and they're silly and they're loving and they do funny things. And I find joy there. So. All right. I would also encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. I do encourage you, because I didn't go to the gym today. I'm feeling it in my back now. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Everything works better when you're well hydrated. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light because I drive east to go to the gym and the sun had just come over the horizon. I got a face full of sun first thing this morning. I'm still seeing the blinking and seeing the after effects. But if you get up before the sun, artificial light works as well. What I'm talking about, it's called a circadian rhythm. It is a natural hormone cycle that early in your day, especially on the face, sun helps to reset those hormones, to get those hormones flowing in the right direction, and you'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. Okay? It's just whatever I can do to help you feel a little bit better. And if you do it every day, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, you might feel a lot better. All right. And then, as always, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. If we are made by God, of God, for God, everything is made by God, of God, for God. Okay? Everything is sacred. So when we open the windows of our soul and we look around and we make room for joy and we channel divine love, and when we yield to love, that's where we open those windows and we look around and we see the world in a different way. And we move through the world in a different way, and we talk, we speak in the world in a different way. And it just works a little bit better. And when we learn that heaven is a state of mind, a state of consciousness, then we learn that it's not a place, but something we create for ourselves. just like hell, because we can create hell for ourselves just as easily. When we learn that it's a state of mind, it's a state of consciousness, it's what Jesus came to teach us. The kingdom of God is within you. It ceases to be a place and becomes any place, and potentially every place, which is the point of practice. Practice doesn't make perfect, although it can. It makes permanent. So practice on yourself. And in the opening the windows of the soul, you can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Really? Are you going to hold my hands with your claws? Okay. And so look for the good and praise it. Look for the little good, look for the big good, look for all the little good that adds up into the big good. It all counts. It all counts. Emma was right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move into the process of, I guess I'm at the social media part. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. And if you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. And when it says click here now, it takes you either right to the information you want or to the person that can get you the information. Like if you decide to click on the book studies, it will take you to that person's email so that you can email them and say, hey, I'd like the Zoom link. Because all of our book studies are currently being done on Zoom. So it doesn't matter where you are in the country, you can join them. And we all love being able to do Zoom in our comfy pajamas. So please take advantage of that. All right. I'm going to move forward into the part where I get to tell you to have or encourage you, as I like to say. I'm not going to tell you to have it. I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, a sunny day, a rest day, a get stuff done day, a clean that corner out day, a take care of yourself day, a take care of business day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. All right. I have said before and will continue to say, because it is the truth of your being, you are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are a godling in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Always, always and forever. And that is really amazing and really cool. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. Oh, I'm skipping the part where I remind you, Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. We'll have an amazing service for you right here on Facebook Live at 11. And hopefully I won't have the technical glitches and the Sunday service will get up a lot sooner. So, what was I about to say? Take care of yourself. Know that you're loved. And if you see me pop up in the evenings, I'm running a quick project where apparently this thing called You by Ernest Holmes is not available by audio. So I'm going to make it available, at least on YouTube. I'm going to put it both on the Creative Life channel and the Running Rev Ryan channel, where I'm going to pop up for a few nights until there's 16 chapters. So it'll probably take me about a month, where you can go and listen to the chapters. So they'll be divided up into the chapters, short videos, however you want to listen to them, so you can listen to this book. Because it's my favorite book, and I'm distressed that there's not an audiobook. I mean, I'm not a professional, so I will occasionally mispronounce words and turn pages, but yeah, I just think it's time. That one needs to be audio. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. I'll see you next time.